Hey, what's up y'all? It's your boy Nick and we are back with another video. So for today's video guys, we're going to be talking about Congos. So I'm going to be breaking down to you guys what Congos are, how they're formed, and then I'm also going to be separating one of the Congos that I have forming in the back of my head later on in the video. Now I normally try not to separate my hair, but I need to go ahead and take care of this one before it gets too far out of control. But before we do that, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also like this video, comment, turn on the post notifications. It really helps your boy channel out a lot. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right guys, so Congos. Congos are two or more locks that come together at the root to form one lock. Now you most commonly see this in freeform locks, but you also see this in manipulated locks too as well. Say they want just thicker locks, you can combine your locks together, or you can do it naturally by letting them just combine together at the root. Now this one here, these were three individual locks that came together pretty early on in my process to form one lock. They started to combine at the root, and then I just let them grow together and they formed into one lock. I could put rubber bands around this, or I could braid this and just have it form into one whole lock, but I just choose to let it be free, let it form at the root. I did tie two of my locks together and then I put a rubber band at the end. Now this is really early on, so they happened to form into one lock. And then we also got a little bit of a smaller lock that happened to join in and combine into one lock. I really like how these locks feel. It feels healthy, it feels strong. As you guys can see, this is a Congo within itself. This lock too is a Congo. I have these two locks starting to form together at the roots, and what they're doing is these small hairs are starting to form together. They're starting to get intertwined. Now, if I just leave this alone, they're gonna form together just like this one over here. And you know, they're just gonna become a bigger lock. I do see some people after a while, they just cut the ends off and just stick with the thicker lock. Me personally, I'm just gonna let my hair grow out. Maybe if I wanna do a trim later down the road, I might think about doing it, most likely not. But I'm just gonna let my hair continue to grow out and do what it does. So pretty much most of my Congos are in the back of my head. That's just because I lay it on my head and that gives the opportunity for the locks to come together and form. I really don't separate my hair. I did kind of separate it in the beginning because I didn't know how they were gonna turn out. Now I just really let my hair do whatever it wants to do. So I do have a couple Congos that are starting to form. Like I said back here, these are two Congos that were already individual Congos. Now they're coming together to form a bigger lot. So I'm just gonna leave these alone, let them do what they do. I also have a couple over here. I think it's right here. Yeah, as you can see, these locks are starting to form together. The roots are starting to come together, and all this frizz is just intertwining throughout the lock, and these are just gonna form into one lock. Look, it's already connected together. See how I move that one moves as well. So I'm just gonna continue to let that grow out and let it do whatever it wants to do. Now, when it comes to forming Congos, like I said, I just like to let them do it naturally. When I get out the shower, I just leave my hair alone and the hair starts to ravel up together, it dries up, starts to tighten up, and then it forms a Congo. You also can manipulate Congos and make them yourself. Some people like to do the rubber band method, or they like to tie their locks together. Some people like to use a crochet hook and they like to crochet their locks together. Me, I'm just gonna let it be natural. That's the reason I'm going free form. I just want my locks to form however they're gonna form. Nothing against all those other methods, but I definitely do not recommend the rubber band method because the hair can grow over the rubber bands and then the rubber bands can get stuck inside of your locks. But if you do choose to tie your locks together, I recommend that you just get a little hair band or something a little bit thicker and just tie it off at the end. If they're a little bit longer locks, you can add a couple, but I definitely don't recommend leaving those in for long periods of time. Like I said, the hair can ravel around it and then cause the hair band to get stuck in your hair, which you don't want to do because you don't want to damage your lock trying to get that out. Now, the perfect time to let your Congos form is right when you're semi-mature, when your hair is still frizzy, you have a lot of free hair on your locks. Now, these locks right here, they're pretty much mature. I just have kind of a frizzier hair texture, so these are pretty much mature right now, but a lot of my locks started to form when they were a little bit less mature. Like these back here, they formed pretty early on in my process. These were 1, 2, 3, 4 locks that came together to form this one lock back here. Like I said, I have these 3 as well. And then I have this one too, where these were two locks that, well, three locks, excuse me, that came together to form in one. This was pretty early on in the process before I was fully mature, so it had extra hair that was able to wind together to form that one lock. Now, when it comes to Congos, it could take anywhere from a week. I've had some locks start to join together. I leave them alone for a little bit, don't pay attention to them. I go back a week later and they're already pretty much stuck together. Or it could take up to 3 months if your hair is already mature. Like I said, say that if I were to tie these locks together and put a rubber band at the bottom, or put a hair tie, excuse me, at the bottom, it would take a little bit longer for these locks to start to form together because they're already mature. Now, eventually over time, they will mat together from me laying on them and all different types of things. But it is definitely gonna take a little bit longer than what it would for the roots to form together, because that's all loose hair at the bottom. All right, so when it comes to manipulated Congos and freeform Congos, freeform Congos, they pretty much form wherever they want to form. You can have hair connecting from this side of your hair all the way over to a lock on this side of your hair. If you don't separate those things early, the hair can start to intertwine within itself, and it could be really painful to separate those things. But when it comes to manipulated Congos, you can form those wherever you want to. You can have clean parting, clean sectioning, and all that. It looks a lot more neat. It looks a lot more put together. Me personally, you know me guys, I love that messy look. It's really up to you guys. When it comes to your locks, if they're manicure locks, if they're freeform locks, guys, it's all your journey. So you wanna do whatever works for you. If you wanna let your hair naturally Congo up, go ahead and do it, guys. But if you wanna go ahead and band your hair together or twist your hair together to manipulate the Congos, hey guys, go ahead and do it. It's your hair. Whatever you feel comfortable with, you go ahead and do it, guys. I think only have 27, 28 locks on my head. Out of those, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know. It's a Congo started to form right there. This also was a Congo early on in the beginning. The two locks happened to form together. So I think I have about 7, 8 out of 20 something locks. So pretty much a good amount of my locks on my head have Congoed up. I would have a lot more locks, but I like the lesser locks. I like the thicker lock looks. Now, when it comes to separating, guys, you want to catch these locks earlier on in the process to make the separation a lot less painful. Me personally, if I find some locks that are starting to come together at the roots, I like to do it in the shower where my hair is wet. It makes the hair a little bit more slippery, so when I'm threading the hair through the lock, it doesn't hurt as bad. But also sometimes when I'm sitting on the couch, I may feel some hair connecting from up here to way to back there, and I would thread the hair out to separate them. Now, some people choose to just rip the locks down the middle. That just sounds painful to me. I've never had a retwist. I've never had my hair professionally done. I'm already tender-headed as it is, so I couldn't imagine someone just grabbing my hair and just ripping it apart at the root. Some of these locks at the back of my neck back here, man, it just hurts so bad. I want to pull some of those apart sometimes, but I just let them be, and that's pretty much how they form because it was hurting so bad for me to pull them apart. But I just leave them alone. And I've also seen some people take scissors and cut their locks down the middle. I would stay away from that. I don't know about putting scissors to my head. Yeah, I would just kind of stay away from that, guys. Now, I am not a loctician, so whatever your method your loctician decides to do, or whatever method you guys that are locticians out there decide to do, hey, go ahead and do it. I'm just talking about the people that are at home, they find a lock that's starting to grow together and they really don't want it. I recommend catching those pretty fast. I would say go ahead and separate those as quick as possible. But me, I just go ahead and thread out the hair if I find a lock that I really don't want to form. Now, like I said, I normally don't separate my hair, but when it comes to these on the back, these locks like to grab locks from everywhere, little pieces of hair, and try to form them into locks. Now, I think these locks back here are already big enough. Like I said, 2 of these locks, this one and this one, pretty much take up the most of the back of my head. I also have another Congo back here. So pretty much almost all of the locks in the back of my heads are Congos. So if those locks starts to grab onto some more hair, I kind of try to grab those early, thread that hair out so they don't form into bigger locks. I just don't want it uncomfortable. I don't want these locks to get too long and then it gets too heavy and I have hair pulling from way up here from a lock way back there. I just find that, you know, I just think that would be uncomfortable and I don't want to have to separate it later down the road. So I just go ahead and do it while it's early, while it's in the beginning phases of starting to Congo together. Now, some of these locks up here, like this lock up here, I wouldn't mind if this started to Congo into another lock. And I already feel at the root, it's starting to connect to a lock right here. So I'm gonna let those grow together. Some of my smaller locks, I'm just gonna go ahead and let Congo up like this one. If that forms into something, I wouldn't be too mad. Now, as far as separating Congos, so like I said, I had these two locks started forming together, but I'm finding that they're starting to come together with these three locks right here. I could pull it and I could feel where the hair is kind of pulling, like there's some hair connected into this lock from this lock. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab some of these hairs, give you guys the best angle. So I'm just gonna take some of these hairs and I'm gonna start at the root and I'm just gonna kind of thread these through. I could kind of rip it a little bit. But I'm just gonna go ahead and thread it through the hairs. I don't know if you can see, but I'm threading through the hairs. Kind of pull some hair. Just take that out. Now you want to find the end that is threaded into the lock because you don't want to pull your scalp, pull your hair. So yeah, just pull that out. How's that look? Yeah, I still have some hair connecting. Some pretty thick hair too. So. See that thick hair right there connecting those locks. So I'm just gonna pull it through. Thread it through. Now, like I said, guys, this crap hurts. I'm starting to sweat from just pulling those locks apart. Like I said, I normally, like I said, like to do this in the shower so the hair is a lot more slippery. It seems to just come out a lot easier, those threaded hairs. But like I said, I just wanted to go ahead and pull those apart. It wasn't the biggest Congo. Like I said, I like all my Congos. I want my hair, like I said, I like all my Congos. I want my hair to form all together, but I don't want my Congos getting too big. So that one, I just wanted that lock to do its own thing. Like I said, it's already three coming together. And then we have these two locks that are coming together too as well. So I just want to let these grow together, let them do its thing, and then let this kind of be singular. So I just want to make sure that I stay on top of this. Ooh. So we're just gonna let my hair do whatever it wants to do. We're gonna let it grow out. We're gonna let it be free. And we're just gonna, we're just gonna enjoy the process, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. But before I get out of here, guys, if you guys don't already, follow me on Instagram at ParadiseJones_. For some of my subscribers out there that have locks, if you wanna shoot me some pictures of your locks, I can possibly in the future do a lock review video. I've been watching some of those. I think those are pretty cool. So if you wanna send me some of the pictures of your locks, I can go ahead and check those out for you guys, give you my honest review of your locks, and yeah, I think that would be pretty dope. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to go ahead and turn on those post notifications, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, all that stuff. And until next time, guys, I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.